Welcome to Double Talk. My name is Mark Steffen.
I'm glad you said that. I was wondering where I was. What am I doing here? I'm Michael Mandel.
We're the co-hosts of the show.
Yes.
And I must say, I went and got a great massage earlier today.
Sounds like a Henny Youngman joke. But
No,
go ahead.
Actually, it's the truth. I went down to Max Designs for VIPs. Or
Who?
They do my hair. You can get your hair
Max's?
done. They can do your nails. And they now have Christy there who gives a wonderful massage. So Max Designs for VIPs on Loman Street there in the two-story brown building. I recommend them for hair, nails, and massage now.
And to buttress his argument, I didn't have my hair done at, what does it say? Max Designs.
Yes. They also have a barber there now, too.
Well, I thought they always had a barber.
They have a
Is
barber
that the design?
who gives you a shave. He's an artiste.
Oh, is that why you came out looking like...
They've got it all covered for you there.
You look like Errol Flynn.
It's at 525 East Loman. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in because they do that for promotional consideration, and we sure appreciate it here on Double Talk.
Well, that's considerate of us.
Now, Michael,
What's happening?
Have you been to the movies lately?
Yes, but not the ones we're going to talk about.
You probably go to the Fountain Theater.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. I wish they went to see Gravity.
Yes. What? You're missing Gravity?
No, the
Were
movie.
you walking on air?
The movie Gravity, starring
Oh.
George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, and which I highly recommend, by the way.
Well, both of those people are famous.
They did things technically and visually on this that have never been done before, and I give them great credit for what they did. Of course, I saw it in 3D.
By they, you mean the CGI people, not
the-
necessarily Sandra Bullock
And not just the CGI people. See, they turn this blue, they can do that.
I know, that looked like the universe during the day. We always only see the universe at night and it's dark, right?
Right.
But in the day, is the universe like blue?
Yes. Well, if you're looking in the right direction.
Oh.
So
there it is.
anyway, I highly recommend Gravity. Although the only thing
I use it every day.
they're supposed to be in a weightless environment. In some of the scenes, Sandra Bullock's hair was not weightless. I noticed.
It's gel.
Yeah.
Gel. Isn't she supposed to be in a thing?
Yes, but once she gets back inside the spacecraft,
she's
she
weightless,
takes
but-
all that off. And but there were some great visual effects. Fire burning in a weightless environment was a very interesting effect.
What does that look like?
It's very interesting. It looks weird.
Is that like when you light a fart?
I wouldn't know, Michael.
I'm just asking. I know
And,
you're a man of experience.
Well, I've never done it in a weightless environment. I'll say that.
Ah. Well, there they are. Her hair looks perfectly flat. Which one is the girl?
That's her on the left.
Oh. It's hard to tell, in those sexless outfits. They have to make them, they should be sexist there. Pink and blue.
Oh,
That way you know.
I see.
Is that a sexist comment?
And then they had to get to the Russian spacecraft, and the Chinese spacecraft is involved. Well, the Russian spacecraft blows up. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you.
You already did.
But, or you did
But they lived, didn't they?
I'm not going to say.
Well, they're doing another movie soon,
not
so
saying.
they must have lived.
So anyway, I recommend Gravity. Now, the last movie I saw just the other day, I went to see Carrie.
You got a lot of time on your hands,
The
don't
remake
you?
of the Brian De Palma film from the 70s. Now,
Classic.
Now, my way of thinking, Carrie actually, I think, was probably my favorite Stephen King film version of any of his books. Then there was a Carrie 2 that was a stinker. Now they've remade Carrie.
So this is a Carry Me Back.
Yes. And they shouldn't go back. They should never have tried to remake the classic.
What's with her face? It looks
Brian
like it's
De Palma.
got scotch tape on it.
Well, she's got blood all over it. You will know her name, it says. Well, her name is Carrie White. And
So?
I'm sorry, but, maybe if there had never been another Carrie film, which was much better, this one might have been okay, but you can't help but comparing them as well you should. So I don't recommend this Carrie. I'm sorry. Stick to the Sissy Spacek version that Brian De Palma did in the 70s.
Why'd you call her a sissy?
And her husband, Jack Fisk, was the art director on that movie. And I highly recommend, if you want to see Carrie, go see the original. Rent it, buy it, download it.
On the other
watch
hand,
Carrie.
if you don't pay attention to generational differences, people will see this for the first time and go, wow, that's a pretty good movie. Then maybe when they'll see the other Carrie, you don't know. You've been coddling this in your heart for like the last 30 years, right?
Well,
so
coddling?
We'll see. Coddling. And people will look at this and they're, the teens or the 20s, they'll see this for the first time. They'll go, incredible. And the first Carrie had no good CGI.
That's true. This film had lots of telekinesis, much more telekinesis scenes in it.
Well, because it's easier to do that now.
Yeah, it is. It is. The other one had to rely on mechanical effects, which were pretty well done, I must say, back then.
Yes, well, it was a good movie.
It was a good movie. So anyway, speaking of the movies and people involved in the entertainment, as we are, you know, Andy Kaufman's back in the news.
Yes, we're going to have him on the show next week, so stay tuned.
Anybody over the age of 30 should know who Andy Kaufman is.
Right, because he died in 1984. He was very big on, Taxi.
He was huge in the TV
He played
series Taxi, Latka Gravis.
Latka, and
then he did a bunch of movies.
did movies. He was also on Saturday Night Live,
So,
and he was
lots
on
of appearances everywhere.
The Tonight Show, and he made a reputation of being super wacko in a sort of a wacko environment, like with people like Billy Crystal and Robin Williams was around, but he did a sort of an existential wackiness.
He was, and he even got into wrestling, where he would claim to,
He would use
kick the ass of anyone that dared to meet him in the arena.
He did these weird, Elvis impersonations that would not stand for impersonation ever.
I loved his Elvis impersonation.
Well.
It was more of a caricature of Elvis. He did a great thing with the Mighty Mouse theme. I don't know if we have that to roll in.
Were we going to do that? We probably won't do it, because if this gets on YouTube and, whatever.
What? Well, it's already on YouTube.
I know, but then you're taking other people's stuff. And we would never do that. We would never take from another source.
Why not?
We would never take from another source and...
Knowingly.
And yes. Well, no, we'd get caught. Well, we'll change that around. Anyhow, if it's true that his alleged daughter, I think it's pretty easy to figure out if this went on any forensic show, NCIS or CSI, they would be able to solve this real easily. They get the daughter, you take a swab, you get some of Andy Kaufman's hair, or you go dig up his grave.
Yes, they should exhume his body unless they claim he was cremated.
Cremated.
Now I know his wife, his widow, his
What does
alleged
she say?
widow.
What does she say?
Her name is Lynn Margulies.
Where's she now?
Kaufman. She lives in Los Angeles, last I heard. I was at her house.
With him in the cellar?
Well, I don't know.
Could be.
I didn't see her after she married Andy. I didn't see her anymore. I saw her when she was a single woman.
That's very, nice of you that you gave her up after she married Andy.
So
you didn't follow her around.
Anyway, she's a very nice lady. In fact, she and I are in a film together called The Aftermath. Unfortunately, it's out of print. You can't get your hands on it. I've been trying, believe me.
Maybe Andy Kaufman faked his death so you would stop stalking him. But you gave up stalking his wife-to-be, then you started stalking him, and he said, "This Mark Steffen, he's driving me crazy. I'd kill myself."
Well, a movie was made about Andy Kaufman called Man in the Moon. Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
And my friend Lynn Margulies was the technical advisor on the movie.
Which would make sense, since she
was his widow.
Knew him.
Now, he's...
in a biblical sense.
People who knew him are claiming he is still alive. They've been communicating via email and other forms. He says they're saying that he disappeared from show business so that he could raise his family without any interference. I don't know how much interference he would have had in the first place, but that's Andy.
You could get
if anybody could get away with this kind of thing, it's him.
Well, they also say that James Joyce was still alive after apparently he died. The Dalkey Archive talks about it, how he was hiding in a small town north of Dublin. But that was totally bogus also. J.D. Salinger did manage to go into hiding for most of the end of his career. Well, after his career was over, he was in hiding in New Hampshire, Vermont. Can never tell them apart. Neither could anybody without a map.
Well, I've been in hiding for years, right here on this TV show. Where else can I be any more anonymous than I am now?
Where's Mark?
You see what I'm saying?
Where is he? Where is he? I have no idea.
So, if you want to disappear, get a TV show on the Las Cruces channel.
That's right. You can get negative viewers.
Yeah.
and then be wiped off the earth. Although I did meet a guy yesterday that said he's been watching the show for 4 years.
He's the one that's been watching?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Andy Kaufman has been watching this show. He said, if I could only be as quick and witty as these guys, I really would have killed myself.
Well, Andy, if you're watching, thank you very much.
And now on to the next.
Yes.
The next course.
Speaking of show
we should
business.
do this in courses, not topics. The next course we're serving up. What's next?
Yes.
I can't read that.
Lady
part.
Antebellum. You know, the country group, the country trio. They're on tour right now, and they were scheduled to be here at the Pan American Center March 25th. Well, they're not coming anymore. They canceled.
Although they're called Lady Antebellum, and they're 3 people. So,
3 people with only one lady.
And the other thing is, I don't usually like country music
Why not?
because it's really hokey. But these guys are pretty good.
It's not all hokey, Michael.
Not all of it
Believe
is.
me.
They're getting very hip these days. There's a lot of good people. Taylor Swift, of all people. I happen to like Taylor Swift. Her songs are pretty good.
She's really not that country either.
No, but maybe that's because I don't like country. What I really hate is bluegrass.
What?
Bluegrass is like some fiddler playing Chicken Crossing the Road faster than the guy who played it before. It's
banjo, it's fiddle, it's mandolin.
Yeah, but they all play that same tune
guitar.
over and over.
No,
over and
I
over.
love bluegrass.
Well, this is where we differ. As opposed to what is it?
It's not all
Trance rock.
It's not all turkey in the straw, Michael.
Turkey? Is that turkey in the straw?
Turkey in the straw? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, bluegrass is
It's
wonderful.
all turkey in the straw.
Frankly, I'm not that crazy about modern country western music. It's become too much like rock and roll. I prefer the old country western, the classic country.
You meet people who they talk about, the Beatles, that's it. That's what, whenever you were in college and stopped listening to music, that's where your musical interests died.
When you
It's
stopped?
Huh?
When you stop listening to music?
You stop listening to any new music. Do you listen to any new music?
I don't hear it. I don't hear that much I like these days.
Because your tastes are created when you're usually, younger than 23 years old. And after that, your sensibility, your cultural tolerance doesn't stand for anything else. This is why a lot of people older than us, they haven't gotten past Frank Sinatra. They haven't gotten past Dean Martin.
Well, I like Frank Sinatra. I like Dean Martin. Even though
like The Cure?
It's my parents' music.
The Cure was just here. They were a great group. Do you like The
they're
Cure?
fine, sure.
How about Bjork?
Bjork's fine. I don't like everything Bjork does. I can't understand half the things she sings about, but
What?
I'm the same way
I
with.
don't understand what Frank Sinatra sang about.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I've often walked down the street before, but my feet have always stayed upon the street before. How's that work? The guy's got to be walking on air. Oh, I just got it.
What's the name of that the big British singer? The female. She's been winning all the awards the
Engelbert
last
Humperdinck.
5 years with the woman. She's been winning all the awards. Kind of overweight gal. She just sang the last James Bond.
Oh, Adele.
song.
Adele.
I can't understand half of what she
Okay,
sings
Adele
about.
is a very traditional singer.
I wish she'd learn how to
She's
enunciate
very
better.
traditional. She's British. The British never spoke normal. That's why we had to leave their country and start a new one.
I can understand everything the Beatles sang about.
Right, because they tried to be English. We're going to have to take. Are we going to have to take a break? I can't tell.
We got a minute or
can't
so.
tell. Yes. Well, we could talk about the Beatles, but a lot of people, if those of you who are listening to the show think about the last time you said, "Well, I like that," pretty much you're about 23 years old. That's it.
No, Michael. I listened to music. Well,
Sure,
after
you don't like
college and
Adele.
liked it. I liked it.
Well, you were in the media. You
I
were in the
enjoyed it.
media, so you accepted what the media was offering.
I was living in Los Angeles, Michael, after college. That was the music capital of this country, of the world.
I was living in New York after
the
college,
world.
and I was listening to music of the world.
Yes.
Talking Heads, remember those guys? Okay, now these Talking Heads have to talk our way into
a break. We'll be right back after these words. Now, you know
What
that
words
I'm
were
right.
those? Your
When it
words.
comes to music,
Aren't they
I know what
your
I'm
words?
talking about.
Located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week, so keep it right here.
see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
I just never liked them.
And we're back. This is Double Talk. Mark Steffen.
Michael Mandel.
Here we are.
Talking
Talking smack about whatever we
The
decided to
music,
talk about.
we decided we beat each other up. So his face is all red. That's why mine's all tangerine color.
And
Oh, but we still have things to talk about. Speaking of fighting,
Yeah.
You know, the Pope is very respected in this world. Did you know that?
well, being a pope, being that kind of
That's
comes
pretty
with
good.
territory, doesn't it?
It's like, you know, he's got this cachet of being important. However, the Italian mafia is getting a little ticked off at him because he is trying to check the books and make sure things are not slipping by him.
Well,
so the head of the mafia is thinking about putting a hit on him.
Well, that's the scuttlebutt. But you know, he's trying to cut down on the corruption, the financial corruption that's always been there between the church and organized crime in Italy. They've kind of worked hand in hand for many decades. Apparently, he wants an accounting.
Which is a good thing. The head of the criminal investigation thing in Italy has put a warning out to him not to go into crowds, which is his wont to do.
He likes to do that.
And he does that. And he does travel in his Ford Focus by himself, driving himself without
With a
armed guards.
minor escort. He doesn't take the Pope Mobile out much. He's a man of the people, so he moves amongst the people.
And, you know, really it's good. I think it's good that he does that.
And,
You know, the mafia,
put a head out on the Pope.
there you go. You could do that.
Well, it's been
But I bet
it's
they
been
wouldn't.
tried before.
I don't think many popes have been assassinated in the past.
That's true.
Probably by Pope wannabes.
Well, yes, and of course they were much more corrupt then than they are now.
Yes.
Allegedly.
And they didn't have cameras all over the place.
That's
and,
true.
Modern
Secret recording
law
devices.
things. So, well, here's wishing the Pope hope that he stays well
Yes. So
and out of the
know,
line of bullets.
if organized crime in Italy was to take out the Pope, there would be such a hue and cry against organized
Oh, yes.
crime that that would be the death knell of organized crime in Italy.
That's a lose-lose situation
It really
right
is.
there.
And it could
You
have
know?
ramifications all the way back to this country.
It could. We still have a little bit of mafioso here.
Yeah, it's small potatoes now compared to what it used to be like.
Yeah,
If-
and we have other organizations. We have cartels, things like that.
things
So,
like that, but they have
yeah.
nothing to do with the Italian.
No, they don't. But they, you know,
That we know
if
of.
the mafia is here and cartels want a piece of the business,
Well,
that might be their opportunity to
Well,
get
the
in
cartels
and get
are
the
Catholic
cartels.
too.
There you are. They're Catholic, so they respect the Pope.
Yeah. Now, one
Good.
thing.
This is toxic.
One
We
thing-
don't want to talk about
You know,
killing the Pope. but
I
this-
love good Italian food. And one thing that you don't see in a lot of in Italian food is trans fats.
You know why?
Why?
You really can't see trans fat because it's cooked in there.
Well, what is a
You
trans
can-
fat? A trans fat is when they take oil, pump it full of hydrogen, they partially or completely hydrogenate it so that it remains solid at room temperature. So it's
And
much easier
in your
to
body.
take care of. It lasts longer, and it clogs your arteries, and it causes inflammation, and it shortens your life. Now, there's places that have banned trans fats. Crisco is a trans fat. Crisco
Yes,
shortening.
yeah, you put it on
Shortening.
the pan 'cause it's
Margarine.
thick.
Most margarines are still trans fats, although they're getting away from it. Now, they used to say, margarine was much healthier than butter.
And now the same butter is
Well, they were
healthier.
lying.
Yeah.
Butter is healthier than trans fatty margarine. They say a nationwide ban on trans fats would prevent 20,000 heart attacks a year and could prevent 7,000 deaths a year from heart disease.
Well, do you think that's worth it? Impinging on people's freedom to choose? It's the same as that darn Obamacare where they're forcing people to get health insurance. Shouldn't people be able to choose that they don't want to be healthy?
Well, some
Isn't
people
that a
don't-
good idea
Most people
for
don't
people?
know the difference between a trans fat. They don't know that they're eating poison. Now, with cigarettes, you know you're sucking on something that's toxic and that will hurt you permanently.
But you don't know if you're eating a trans fat or a hetero fat or a homo fat.
If you look on the label, they are
says-
required to be on the label. Trans
says-
fats acid.
It says homo fat,
Trans fats.
hetero fat.
Never mind the trannies.
No, that's what it is, huh? In processed food. Well, they tried to eliminate large drinks in New York, supersizing. That didn't work. But I think the trans fat thing is working. L.A., New York, gonna have it in restaurants.
If I see a pie crust that's got trans fats in it, I won't eat it.
I've been there. I've been there with you.
Yeah.
Are we getting too fatty on with our conversation?
No. Now speaking of
Ribs.
speaking of fat, we got some barbecue. We got a picture of some barbecued ribs coming up,
Oh yeah.
and that's what they're serving up
Here they are.
at the new Sage
there.
Cafe.
Yeah, there's my ribs. They're all barbecued.
And
It's in a,
it's out there on the East Mesa. The new Sage Cafe out there in the new
what is that?
community
A
center.
community center where people can go and eat. What's interesting is the guy from the Rib Hut
Yeah.
is renting the place
got
from the city.
franchise, yeah.
Well, it's not a franchise, but he's renting it from the city. Barbecue Heaven is going into the Rib Hut. Put the call center. Actually, that would be a great mix of it, because if you get retired people at the call center, they could eat their ribs and then they could take calls.
Calls
The
for
old
what?
people, the 911 calls, 911.
Oh, I see.
Emergency calls. Old people, they go, oh, I understand. It's too bad. And I've had a pain too.
Yeah, from eating
could
too
be
many
good.
ribs
Eating,
and trans fats.
well, ribs are good.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna, sure they're good.
You don't
just 'cause
eat
something
beef
tastes
and you don't
good.
eat pork, but you would eat chicken with barbecue sauce on it.
Sure, turkey.
And that's what BBQ
Fish,
is.
yeah.
Barbecue sauce, barbecued fish.
Where
Have
sauce
it
is
all
the
time.
boss. Everybody likes to say that their sauce is the boss. And
Are you saying that?
I hope it is.
Is that your sauce
Sauce
is the boss?
very important.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Now,
I'm getting some ideas for dinner.
what else is coming up this weekend?
There's a lot of things we have to get through, because this is, this is the big pre-Thanksgiving rush of where people do stuff.
Yeah.
Tonight is Broadway Babes.
Broadway
Is it
Babies for the March of Dimes.
Janet Mazda does this almost every year. She does a fundraiser, and this will be at the Las Cruces Community Theater. I'm guessing.
It's a musical review, isn't it?
Yes, she's done it before.
Song, dance,
Everybody
music.
likes Janet Mazda singing. She's been in a number of plays, dozens of movies where she's had nominations for Academy Awards.
No. Who are you thinking of? Janet
That's not
Mazda?
Janet Mazda?
No, I think you're thinking of Meryl Streep.
Oh, maybe that's it. Those names are so similar.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, that should be good. It says March of Dimes. It's Broadway Babies. They do Broadway hits. That is tonight at
Major fundraiser. Go out, have a good time, hear some show tunes,
Las Cruces Community Theater,
and help
of
some
which she's
people out.
president of.
Yes.
So that'd be good.
Now, also going on, not this weekend, but next weekend, is the Convoy of Hope.
What's that? Convoy of Hope.
Sponsored by the Las Cruces First Assembly of God Church, along with the
bunch of truck drivers.
The Las Cruces Channel is involved in this big time.
Oh, we're sponsors.
It's down at the Las Cruces Convention Center, Saturday, November 23rd.
Where is the Las Cruces Convention
Oh, you know
Center?
where that
Is
is.
there a sign on it that
Oh,
says
sure.
where it is?
Yes, there is
Okay.
now. And it starts at 10 a.m. Rain or shine, you can get down there. It's helping out, poor, disadvantaged people with groceries, haircuts, health services. Family portraits will be available. There'll be live entertainment, foods, community services will be available. It's called A Day of Hope. Families are welcome to come down there. No ID required or anything like that. If you need some groceries, if you want a haircut, you need to get your kids a haircut, free of charge.
Any dental work, like for people who have toothaches?
You might be able to make arrangements for that.
Oh, that would be good for some people,
Yes.
'cause, sometimes you just can't get a dentist to solve your problems.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So Convoy of Hope, that sounds like a thing to be at.
Right. We can't promote our next week's show because it's going to start,
Before that.
it starts an hour before the show airs. So we're promoting it this week
Of
for
course, if
November
you
23rd.
go there, watch our show on your hookup to Comcast. Or watch us, of course, you can watch us on YouTube under
Sure.
Michael or Mark on Double Talk.
Or streaming live on the Las Cruces Channel website.
That's true.
Right.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
You know what else is going on?
One of the biggest events in Las Cruces, starting Wednesday. It's 2/3 of a week of activities with the Las Cruces International Mariachi Festival.
Mariachi Festival, yeah. At the most of it takes place at the Pan American Center. at the
Yeah, there's
University.
events all week.
dozens of top flight mariachi groups.
Saturday night, big names. We don't know what the names are.
But in the
And if we
mariachi
did know them,
world,
we couldn't pronounce them. So
in the Tejano world, there are some big stars appearing. They always do.
that's always a good thing to see. What else is going on? You said the community.
Well, today at 2
Today.
o'clock, over in Mesilla on the plaza,
Yes.
they're doing a reenactment of the Gadsden Purchase signing. The Gadsden Purchase, was where the U.S. bought a nice chunk of land from Mexico.
Is that where we bought Alaska?
This
didn't
land
buy
where we are right now was part of the Gadsden Purchase, and which deeded a lot of land to the United States. It's not that the Mexicans who were living here across the border
Had anything to do with it?
The border crossed them.
The border crossing.
Yeah.
And you know why we got the Gadsden Purchase? Why it was necessary?
Why?
Transcontinental Railroad.
Ah, yes, the railroad was
So
coming
they
through.
want to do that, and you don't want to do a big
around.
bridge all over Mexican territory. So we
That'd be
bought
a
it from them.
Bridge over troubled waters.
That'd be crazy.
So that's today at 2 p.m. over in Mesilla. And
The fact that we're in the Gadsden Purchase makes us a unique area because we are, very,
Yes.
inherently multicultural. Makes it much more fun here.
Absolutely. So now also, there's news, big news with the post office that the Amazon.com,
Yes.
they're accessing the post office for Sunday deliveries of Amazon packages up until Christmas.
Up until Christmas, or just
I think
just a little
from
bit?
coming up December.
There's
after
there's been
Thanksgiving.
talk of cutting down on door-to-door service on Saturdays.
Yes.
They're saying with Amazon they might be able to keep that open.
Well, with the income that the post office makes from Amazon with Sunday deliveries, it might help the post office
Kind of
remain
interesting.
in business.
Because Amazon usually has to use somebody like UPS or
UPS or
FedEx. But
So
the
it's
United
good that the
States
post
Postal
office-
Service,
why not?
they know the route.
Well, UPS and FedEx don't work on Sunday either.
Yes, that's why there's an inroad here.
So it's good that they were able to make that sort of arrangement with the post office. I give the post office credit for being open to
do that.
see how it works.
I personally like the post office. Anyway,
Yes.
what else? I think that's
It
about
was
it.
my favorite
right?
game as a kid growing up.
Was post office?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess we are about out of time.
We are.
We are?
And I can't wait until tomorrow and I get my, Amazon stuff in the mail.
Oh, really? What expected?
I don't know. I didn't buy anything.
Oh.
I don't know. I wonder if you can
What'd you
say.
get me?
You'll find out. I can't tell you.
I have to wait till Sunday?
Yes, because you never told me how Gravity ends. So
Oh.
we're going to end right now.
We're going to end right now, gravity free. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you here next week on Double Talk.